Good evening, class.
Good evening, sir.
Okay. Yeah, welcome to advanced instruction. So today we'll be looking at a topic called taxation of digital economy. A topic called taxation of digital economy. This topic is otherwise known as IT tax, information technology tax. So, what is digital economy? Digital economy is the worldwide network of economic activities, commercial transaction, and professional interaction that are enabled by information and communication technology. In a nutshell, what digital economy means is the use of IT, information technology, to carry out commercial transactions, to carry out professional service, to carry out any other business transactions, economy activities. So that is what digital economy is. The use of information technology to carry out commercial transactions and professional interaction between two or more individuals or between two or more parties. And this digital economy, we have different business models of digital economy. What the different model means is different activities that can be carried out under digital economy. Different activities that can be carried out under digital economy. What are the different business activities that we can make use of information technology, IT, to achieve? So, under the different business model, number one out of them is electronic commerce. Electronic commerce. Number one out of them is electronic commerce, followed by online advertising. So you can advertise through online. Electronic commerce, you can buy goods using online. You can order goods online and then deliver the goods for you. Application store, WhatsApp. You can carry out business through WhatsApp. You can carry out business through Twitter, through Facebook, through Google Drive. All these things, they are application store. Cloud computing. We can save our data, our information online, cloud, by paying some subscriptions. So it's IT too. It's IT. So online payment service. All these are different business models that can be carried out through the use of IT. All these are different business models that can be carried out through the use of what? IT. Now, tax challenges of digital economy in Nigeria. If you want to tax digital economy, if you want to ensure that all the online business that we mention online are Facebook, if you make profit through Facebook, you are taxed appropriately. If you carry out online advertising, appropriate tax is deducted. E-commerce. So how do we tax? What are the challenges that we face when we are taxing this digital economy. So the tax challenges of digitalized economy, economy that is driving, through IT. So what are the tax challenges of this digitalized economy? Number one, tax challenges of digitalized economy is most of the profits made by company operating digital business, they are making they make the profit online. They don't have a physical economic presence. They don't have any, some of them don't have any office. Some of them they are not in Nigeria. So how do we trace them? Is one of the task challenges of digitalized economy. Second task challenges of digitalized economy is difficulty in attributable value to the user-generated data. When somebody generated data through the use of IT, how do we know the value that data worth? How do we attach monetary value to it so that we can tax it appropriately? Is very difficult. Another one, lack of clear roadmap on real-time tracking of digital transaction. As we have presently, there is no tools that government or tax authority use to trace all this online digital business, to trace them, to ensure that anytime somebody carry out online digital business, that person pay appropriate tax. There's no tools, there's no road, there's no tracking devices that can be used to trace online business. So lack of clear roadmap on real-time tracking of digital transactions. Another one, lack of effective collection mechanism for VAT. Most of the digital business, even if you collect a company income tax from them, you can't, there is no modus, there is no effective way that will make it mandatory for digital business to be paying VAT. The only one we are still on their neck that they should be paying is still the company income tax. So there's no modus that, okay, anytime you buy good online, anytime you download some app, VAT is been when you pay for the app or you pay for subscription for some of the film that you download, do you understand? Appropriate VAT is added. There is no effective way to ensure that that is being done. So all these, they are task challenges of digitalized economy. So how do we address these task challenges of digitalized economy? How do we address it? How do we address these task challenges of digitalized economy? What are the policies that we should put in place to ensure that the digitalized economy, the challenges faced by digitalized economy is being addressed? Number one, significant economic presence, SEP, significant economic presence. Significant economic presence is just a policy adopted by FRS and tax authority by saying that anytime business company carried out online transaction, commercial transaction, either they are residing in Nigeria or they don't have office in Nigeria, even if they don't have any office in Nigeria or any address in Nigeria, so far as they operate in Nigeria domain, they operate in Nigeria domain. Nigeria domain means .ng. So we should ensure that the profit or the revenue that is derived from that Nigeria domain is taxed appropriately. So that is one of the solutions of these tax challenges of digitalized economy. Second solution of tax challenges of digitalized economy is by ensuring that we introduce withholding tax on digital transaction. Withholding tax on digital transaction. Anytime we carry out digital transaction, even before the receiver of the service pay for the service, he or she should ensure that withholding tax is deducted on the transaction by notifying the FRS, so that FRS will ensure that withholding tax is deducted on the transaction. So that, because most of these companies carrying out online transaction, digital economy business, they may not be residing in Nigeria. They may not have office in Nigeria. So once they receive the income that they derive in Nigeria, you cannot trace them again. So in order to avoid that they are not paying any tax at all, before the person, the receiver of the service pay them in Nigeria, because they render the service to somebody in Nigeria, that person, before he pay them in Nigeria, the person should ensure that withholding tax is deducted on the invoice. Another one, equalization level. Equalization level. Equalization level. This option reduces disparity in the tax treatment of foreign and domestic suppliers by imposing a levy on the gross value of the sales of goods and services on the volume of data gathered in the jurisdiction. It commonly operates as a levy withheld at the time of payment to a non-resident provider. So this also used to address challenges of digitalized economy. Aside from all these 4 points, there are other points that can be used to address challenges associated with digitalized economy. There are other points. One of those points that can be used to address challenges of this digitalized economy is to review the scope of fees base. Is to review the scope of what? Fees base. We need to review the scope of fees base. Fees base means a situation whereby a non-resident company, they have office, branch, factory, warehouse in Nigeria. We need to review the scope. The scope of fees base limits the extent to which you can tax a company based on fees base. There are some situations whereby a company may have a fees base in Nigeria, but they will not pay tax in Nigeria if those fees base is used for storage of information or collection of data from customers. Such kind of fees base may not be taxed in Nigeria. So what we are saying in essence is to review the scope of school fees base in Nigeria. This can also be used to address the challenges of digitalized economy, taxation of digitalized economy. Another one, adoption of creative approach through innovation tax legislation. You can also use this to address challenges of digitalized economy. The tax authority on their own should be creative enough. They should be creative. It's not everything that will be stated in the law. They should use their initiative in some cases. Another one, automated tax administration. This is one of the key areas that can be used to address taxation of digitalized economy by ensuring that our tax system is automated. Our tax system is what? Automated. We deduct tax from invoice electronically. We don't need to confirm from it. Once you receive the income, tax from that income is deducted at the right time, and you file your return online. You disclose your income online. So once we have automated tax administration system, it's going to use to address taxation of digitalized economy. Strategic partner with digital service provider. We need to, FRS or government, they need to partner with Facebook. They need to partner with Twitter. They need to partner with LinkedIn. They need to partner with TikTok. So that once they partner with them, if any one or two, if anybody derive income using such application, such channel, either Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, this and the provider, the service provider of such application will notify FRS, and they will ensure that appropriate tax is deducted. So this can also be used to address challenges of digitalized economy. Capacity building or capacity development. Capacity development, we need to train the tax authority. You understand? Tax authorities too, they need to be trained on how they make use of information technology, on how they make use of cloud computing, on how they make use of application store. Because you want to tax your uh, taxpayer using this technology. You understand? You too, you need to understand this technology very well. You need to understand how it works. It will be very difficult if you don't know how it works, and you say you are now thinking of how you want to tax them. Not, you have to you understand. So they, for us to ensure that digitalized economy is being taxed appropriately, we need to do man capacity building training program, manpower capacity building training program to the tax administrator, which is the tax authority. We need to train them from time to time on how they can make use of information technology. They need to be IT inclined. They need to be IT inclined. So all this. So ladies and gentlemen, please, you may be asked that what are the task challenges of digitalized economy? I've mentioned them. I've mentioned the task challenges of digitalized economy, and they will now say provide solution on how to tackle the task challenges of digitalized economy. I've mentioned like 6 points or 7 points on that. Please take note of this area, because as it is in our syllabus now, ICANN is saying that at least a certain part of our exam, at least 15 mark of our exam, should relate to anything that has to do with IT. Anything that has to do with IT. So let's take note of this topic very well. IT is very important this time around. So I'm suspecting this time around, if this question is not coming up, question relating to IT under role of professional, which I've taught you in the past, will come out. Please, let's take note of this. What are the task challenges of digitalized economy? How do we address or tackle the task challenges of digitalized economy? Let's take note of these two critical areas. They are very, very important. So aside that, let's now talk about significant economic presence. Significant economic presence. What does significant economic presence? What does it? How does significant economic presence? How does it address the task challenges of digitalized economy? We all know the rule. The rule is that any company that is not residing in Nigeria and they do have office in Nigeria, but they derive income in Nigeria and the income is 25 million and above, such kind of income should be taxed. One off tax should be deducted on such kind of income before the income is paid to the service provider. One off tax covered the following. It covered digital economy. It covered contracts, delivery, survey. It covered technology transfer. It covered assignment of intellectual property rights. It okay. Cross-border professional service. So all these are covered under significant economic presence. Significant economic presence simply means a situation whereby a company doesn't have any fees based in Nigeria, but derive income in Nigeria. The rule of significant economic presence is that any company that don't have fees based in Nigeria, they don't have any physical presence in Nigeria, but they derive income in Nigeria. So far as the income is more than 25 million, such income tax and a one-off tax will be deducted. And a company fall under significant economic presence is not required to file tax return. They don't require to file tax return because they don't have office in Nigeria. So it's very key, the issue of significant economic presence. And we have talked about what does significant, the areas in which significant economic presence covered. I've mentioned that, so that's that. Now, let's look at, for the sake of, let's look at information technology system deployed by FRA for administration of tax. Information technology system deployed by FRA for what? Administration of tax. What are the information technology systems? Bring water. Bring water. What are the information technology systems deployed by FRS for tax administration? Number one is FRS deploy what is called tax promas. Tax promas. Tax promas for e-tax administration and compliance by taxpayer. FRA, they deploy tax promas for tax administration and compliance by taxpayer. And under the tax promas, there are a lot of electronic service that can be rendered under the tax promas. One of the electronic services, e-registration. Tax promas can be used to register TIN number. It can be used to register a company that don't have a TIN number to it will issue TIN number for them. E-registration. Fazia, bring water. It can be used to register the taxpayer. Another one is e-filing. We can use tax program to be filing our tax return. We can use it to file our own tax return. We can use it to file our content tax. As it will be presently now, our tax return is not filed manually again. It's being filed online. It's being filed digitally using IT. One of the IT tools used to file tax now is tax promas. So tax promas can be used for e-filing. Another one It can be used for payment of all taxes with federal government. Anytime we want to pay our company income tax, we want to pay our bank tax, we want to pay our education tax, we want to pay our police development levy. We make use of tax promas. We make use of tax promas. So can be used for electronic payments. It can also be used for electronic receipt. Most of the receipts issued by FRS now is not paper receipt, it's online receipts. If you need receipt for any payment of tax, you pay. Assuming you pay back and you need receipt for it, it's through tax promas you generate it. ETCC. If you want to collect a tax clearance certificate, you don't need to go to FRS office. You apply online, and your tax clearance will be approved online and sent to you. A link will be sent to you that will be used to download the tax clearance certificates. A link will be sent to your mail. So one of the uses of tax promas is e-tax clearance certificates, e-stamping. When you want to pay for stamp duty for a document or electronic transaction, you can make use of tax promas to pay it. Tax promas to pay our stamp duties. We can make use of it. So those are the technology, those are the services, electronic services rendered using tax promas. Now, one of the tools of digital economy, taxation of digital economy, one of the different business model of digital economy is electronic business, e-commerce. This electronic business, we want to look at it in a more detail. What does electronic business contain? We now want to look at it in detail. What does electronic business contain? We want to look at it in detail. Business transactions on the internet are referred as what? Electronic commerce transaction. Electronic commerce transaction simply involve online buying and selling of goods and services. When you are buying and selling of goods and services online, you are doing electronic commerce. This electronic commerce accepts customer order online, and a software is used to shop for customer needs. Where do I get customer need? Once the customer need is get, appropriate invoice will be raised. And once the customer pay for the invoice, the order will be delivered. So the shopping cart perform other tasks, computation of tasks and other levels, processing of coupon and other discount, capturing of bill, delivery of address to the customer, and ensure that acceptance of terms of services, forwarding customer to payment gateway. Benefit of e-commerce. What benefit do we derive from e-commerce? 24 hours, 24/7 buying and selling. If you want to buy goods through e-commerce online, you can wake up in the midnight. There is nowhere they will say, they are closed. No. You can order online, even in the midnight. So they operate 24/7. They don't have time for closing. They don't have time for opening. No geographical boundaries. There is no geographical boundary. They can operate from anywhere you need their service. They will come and deliver to you so far as you can pay your logistic cost. They will come and deliver to you. Low operational cost. Since it's online, they don't have any office, they don't have any this. They sell online. They help you to look for goods that you are buying online, and they help you pay for the good, and they send the good for you. So they will have low operational costs. They will not pay rent. They operate online. Some of these people that administer this e-commerce transaction, they may not have any physical office. Streamless transaction process. The transaction process to e-commerce is very streamless. So now, examples of all this e-commerce. What are the good examples of all this e-commerce we are talking about? Online shopping, online movie, internet banking, online betting. You want to bet for match. Online betting, online ticket reservation. You want to get the ticket to attend a you order it online. You see comments. So all these are examples of e-commerce. Now, this e-commerce, for this e-commerce to take place, who are the key players in the e-commerce industry? Who are the key players in the e-commerce industry? Google. Google online. Check for seller of a good. To check for buyer of a good. Apples, Microsoft, Facebook, Jumia, Kunga. They are the key player of e-commerce transactions. Google, Apple, Microsoft, Facebook, Jumia, Kunga. They are the key players of e-commerce transaction. Now, let's differentiate between e-commerce and e-business. Let's differentiate between e-commerce and e-business. E-commerce involves commercial transactions over the internet, while e-business is the business process of the internet. E-commerce is the use of electronic transaction to cater for buying and selling of products. But e-business means direct exchange of information directly relating to buying and selling of products. E-commerce makes use of websites, but e-business, they make use of customer relationship management app, enterprise resources, products, planning, like our accounting package that we use. All these are our accounting package that we use in the company. They are e-business. E-business involves mandatory use of internet. E-commerce involves mandatory use of internet. But e-business can make use of internet or intranet or extranet. So those are the difference between e-commerce and e-business. Those are the difference between e-commerce and e-business. So in this topic, what I will advise us to do very well is, what are the task challenges of digital economy? We should know at least 5 points. And how do we address task challenges of digital economy? We should know at least 5 points. Secondly, what are the different business models that can be carried out using digital economy? We should know at least 10 or 5 application store, online advertising, cloud computing, online marketing platform, online payment service. We should know. And we should know who are the key players of e-commerce. We should know them. Who are the key players of e-commerce? We should know them. So all these are very important in this topic. They are very, very important in this topic. IT. Most of ICANN question now is based on IT. And we should also know what are the services, electronic services that can be carried out using tax programs, e-registration, e-payment, e-TCC, e-filing, e-receipt. We should know them. They are very, very important. We should know them. They are very important. So that is that. So the second topic, the second one we want to is still on e-commerce, it's still on the technology, taxation of digital economy. It has separated the notes. That one is talking about the tax promas. The tax promas. Though we have mentioned briefly what we use tax promas for, but we want to now explain what we understand by tax promas. And we want to look at how tax promas work in this topic now, in this area. How does tax promas work? So tax promas solution, filing requirements and procedure. Tax promas solution, filing requirements and procedure. We start with the introduction. Following the provision of Finance Act 2020, which empowered the Federal Inland Revenue to automate tax filing and payment process, the FRS introduced tax promas application. And the application is a one-stop online tax administration platform for the management of tax process. It offers taxpayer the opportunity to. So we may be asked, what are the functions of tax promas? It's different from what are the services, electronic service that tax promas can render. This one is talking about function. The other one, the taxation of digital economy. What are the electronic services? That one is talking about e-registration, e-filing, e-payment, e-receipt, e-TCC. But this one, what are the functions of tax promas? What function does tax promas carried out? Number one function, registered file and remittance of taxes. It helped to register tax, and it helped them to file tax return, and it helped them to remit taxes. Carry out an assessment and keep tracking of tax obligation. It helped taxpayers to determine the assessment, the amount of tax that they will pay. When you are filing company income tax return, by the time you insert all your information relating to your statement of financial performance, which is your profit and loss, you understand? It is the tax number that will compute adjusted profit by itself, and it will compute the tax that you pay. It will minus your capital allowance. It will compute your capital allowance by itself. So carry out assessment. Determine your assessments. Another one, managing withholding tax deduction. Managing withholding tax deduction. Tax planners help us to deduct withholding tax. It helps us to manage our withholding tax. In tax planners, as a company, you can know the total value, the total amount of your withholding tax credit notes. Under the tax planner, there is a place that you can know your total amount of withholding tax credit. It means the withholding tax that has been deducted from your invoice, the one that has been remitted to FRA, you can trace it using tax programs. Anyone that is not in the tax program platform, it means it has not been remitted. You go back to the service, the person that deducted your the withholding tax from your invoice, the service user. You ensure that they remit it. Management of capital allowance and losses. Tax programs help us to control capital allowance using seamless way. We follow the rule. Once you insert your capital plant and machinery that you bought, your fixed asset that you bought in the year, tax programs will compute the capital allowance by himself. Downloading of tax clearance certificate. We make use of tax program to download our tax clearance certificate. Lastly, communicating with FRS or tax shield. Tax programs, you can use it to communicate, you can use it to log a complaint to the FRS when you observe something that is not good, or when you observe that your tax has been deducted and the withholding tax has been deducted on your invoice and it has not been remitted. Anytime you have any tax issue, tax query, tax problem, you can communicate. You can use tax program to send message to FRM so that they can provide you solution to the issue that you have identified. So that is it on tax programs. Now, how do we use tax programs to find value tax return? How do we use tax programs to find value tax return? What are the steps, procedure of filing value-added tax return under tax programs? Taxpayer is required to visit local office of FRS to fill updated form. If you don't have tax programs, for you to get tax programs, for you to be on tax programs platform, you need to go and fill tax update form. Assuming as a new company or as an existing company that don't have tax programs, you need to go and fill tax update form. It is that tax update form that they will use it to open a tax programs ID for your company. Once you have a tax programs ID, you have a tax programs ID. Once you have your tax programs ID, you log on to your tax programs ID. You click on the type of tax that you want to pay. And after clicking on the tax due, tax that is due, assuming we are in the month of April now, value-added tax return for March will be due in April. So under the tax program, it will be showing you a signal that the VAT for March is due in April. You have not filed it. It will be shown once you log into your tax program site for your company. It will be showing you the signal. You will know that I need to file VAT So you click on that signal that is showing you, which is the tax due, and you select the type of tax you want to pay. You then click on process. Once you click on process to get started, it will give you a schedule that show you your that show you where you are going to insert your sales and your sales adjustments. After you have inserted all your sales and your sales adjustments, it will tell you to continue. Then you proceed. Once you proceed, the VAT form will load after the user has completed all the schedule. And it will ask you, which type of currency do you use to file the return? If you tell them returning currency, the returning currency is the Naira. And after that, you click on declaration form. After you click on declaration form, you confirm if the entry has been submitted. You confirm if the entry has been what? Submitted. So that is how we find value added tax. That is how we find value added tax. Secondly, the process that we also use to find company income tax under the tax mass. So, ladies and gentlemen, my battery is low already. So, by next week, we are going to look at the topic that is very important, which is a transfer pricing policy. By God's grace, transfer pricing policy. So we start on time. I believe by next week, the fasting is still on, but upper week fasting will be off. So by when the fasting is off, we have more time for ourselves. So please, we are very sorry for on Saturday. It was Mr. Chris that supposed to take lecture, but he has online physical. He arranged with the physical students that is going to have the lecture with them in the morning. That is the reason why he did not show up. But me and him, we are looking at the modality on how we ensure that we cover the scope of the work. So by God's grace, we arrange more time for ourselves, even before the exam. In this month, aside from having lecture on Monday and Saturday, look at more time again. Maybe so we are still proposing on Sunday so that we can have time for ourselves. But more shall be done already. More shall be done. And like I always said, for advanced stats, 60% of our questions will be based on theory. So please, let's focus more on theory. I've discussed taxation of merger and taxation. You need to know what is the tax implication of merger. What is tax implication of acquisition? Know that. No corporate tax incentive. Know that. So there are a lot of theories. So I will advise us, we have done a lot in this online class. Let's try and be revising what we have done in the past. We are still going to have a revision class. In that revision class, we look at what we have done from the beginning to end, and we look at anyone that we have really dealt with so that we can deal with them effectively. But we have done a lot. Please, in the area of theory, let's take note of that. Corporate tax incentive, taxation of merger and acquisition, double taxation, taxation of non-residents. We have done a lot. Role of professional in tax administration, team capitalization. We have done a lot. Please, let's try and be revising our notes. So please, because of my battery is very low now, so I would like to stop here. So by God's grace, by next time, we are going to meet. Thank you very much. Any question, any query, any issue? Any question? Any question? Any question? In the absence of any question, you can call it a day. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Yeah.
sir.
Thank you.